Well, Miko, right now, as we're talking, Trump made some major announcements.
The only reason the Palestinians want to go back to Gaza is they have no alternative. It's right now a demolition site. This is just a demolition site. Virtually every building is down. They're living under fallen concrete that's very dangerous and very precarious. They instead can occupy all of a beautiful area with homes and safety, and they can live out their lives in peace and harmony instead of having to go back and do it again. The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area. Do a real job, do something different. Just can't go back. If you go back, it's going to end up the same way it has for 100 years.
The man is an absolute lunatic. The proposition that they will level it, get rid of 2 million people, and then develop it for European settlers, basically, white settlers. This is so sickening. This is so grotesque. I don't even know. I literally feel like I want to throw up because it's in the headlines on Ynet, the Israeli paper.
Yeah. What are they saying?
The U.S. will take over Gaza, will flatten it, and then 1.8 million people will have to leave. And then he said he will visit Israel and Gaza, and we will clear out the bombs and the destroyed homes. It's a great idea. And Netanyahu responded by saying, it's great. It'll bring a new future to the region. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So the Palestinians are the ones that have to go? Palestinians are the ones that have to go, not the people who caused the violence, not the people who caused the destruction. The discourse is so skewed and insane. Why is it the Palestinians have to go? It's their land. It's their country. It's the settlers that have to go. If anybody, I think it was the Iranian president or something that said that. If anybody's got to go, it's the people who came. It's the settlers who came and brought the violence. And then he says, "Yes, we will." And then Netanyahu did not express. He was happy with it. And then there was a threat that if they don't release the hostages, blah, 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 there'll be more violence. We had a wonderful conversation. He says, if I was president, then the October 7th wouldn't have happened. Yeah, this rhetoric is grotesque. It's disgusting. It's racist to a point that is beyond even belief. And it's not going to happen. It's absolutely not going to happen. There's no way. They would have to kill 2 million Palestinians if they want to clear Palestinians out of it. But this idea, and actually the Israeli papers earlier today were saying, because there's the discourse, the Israeli discourse is all about this idea of what they call voluntary migration, to encourage voluntary migration. Well, how do you encourage it? By bombing people, making their lives unlivable. And then they say, well,
cleansing, right?
Well, of course that's what it is, yeah.
Yeah.
What they're saying is we'll start with that, and we'll start with Gaza, and then we'll go to Jenin.
Right.
And then Palestinians will have a better life. When Palestinians don't want a better life elsewhere. If you're worried about Palestinians having a better life, let them live in their country, allow them to go back to their homes. And if you don't want to live with Arabs, why did you come? It's like, I don't know if you saw this thing that he did, Trump did with a pencil or with a pen.
It's a small country in terms of land. See this pen, this wonderful pen? My desk is the Middle East. And this pen, the top of the pen, that's Israel. That's not good, right? That's a pretty big difference. I use that as an analogy. It's pretty accurate, actually. It's a pretty small piece of land. And it's amazing that they've been able to do what they've been able to do when you think about it. There's a lot of good, smart brain power, but it is a very small piece of land, no question about it.
But the settlers came to the Middle East. Why did they come if it's a place? If they don't like it, what are they doing there? They came to an Arab country. They came to a country that's predominantly Muslim, and now they want to ban the call for prayer. They want to destroy the country. They want to get rid of all the history that shows it was an Arab, predominantly Muslim country for, over 1,500 years. I mean, it's insane. And now the conversation, the normalization of the conversation of the ethnic cleansing, of getting rid of 2 million people. I mean, I don't even know if the Nazis were this blunt when they talked about the Jews. It took a while before this so blunt about it. We're talking about, Nuremberg trials all over again. I mean, it's so blunt. I mean, they're just so blunt about it.
Yeah.
They try to hide it. It's this hubris. Don't they realize that one day they will be judged? I don't know how it is that they're not realizing, they have no sense of history, that there will be a time when they are going to have to answer for this. No, I mean, it's not going to happen. I mean, 2 million people are not going to be thrown out of Gaza. It's not going to happen. And then what they say is, see, we can't get rid of them because nobody wants them, because these Palestinians are so horrible that no country wants them. And so that's the issue.
Right. They always do that. Yeah.
That's not the issue. I mean, it's so sickening. But look at it. It couldn't be more formal. It couldn't be more more clear that this is what they're planning to do. I don't know how it is that there's not massive outcry about this. I don't understand. I mean, every government around the world needs to stand up and kick out the American ambassadors, of course, the Israeli ambassadors too. And we've got to stop this. Yeah, this is insane. This discourse is absolutely sickening.
We actually have some more clips of videos that I think we should have you react to, Miko.
Would Palestinians have the right to return to Gaza if they left while the rebuilding's happening?
It would be my hope that we could do something really nice, really good, where they wouldn't want to return. Why would they want to return? The place has been hell. It's been one of the meanest, toughest places on earth. And right now, I've seen every picture from every angle, better than if I were there. And nobody can live there. You can't live there. And so if we can build them through massive amounts of money supplied by other people, very rich nations, and they're willing to supply it. If we can build something for them in one of the countries, and it could be Jordan, it could be Egypt, it could be other countries, and you could build 4 or 5 or 6 areas. It doesn't have to be one area, but you take certain areas and you build really good quality housing, like a beautiful town, like someplace where they can live and not die, because Gaza is a guarantee that they're going to end up dying. The same thing's going to happen again. It's happened over and over again, and it's going to happen again as sure as you're standing there, Peter. So I hope that we could do something where they wouldn't want to go back. Who would want to go back? They've experienced nothing but death and destruction.
Why have they experienced nothing but death and destruction? I mean, is it related to the guy who's literally sitting next to you?
It just came. I mean, it became, Gaza is a terrible place. It's just all death and destruction. Gaza was beautiful. Gaza was known, about pre-1948, for beautiful dunes, beautiful beaches, great seafood, the fragrance of citrus, because they're full of citrus groves there. It was wonderful. Millennia of history and culture, rich history and rich heritage and great pride in Gaza and its history and so on. The only reason there's destruction is because the guy, like you said, sitting next to him and his predecessors brought destruction there. They destroyed it. They're killing. It's not like the place is plagued. He creates this impression, let's take them out of there so they have a better life. Why would they want to stay? Why would they want to go back? I mean, this is so. And none of these journalists have the spine to stand up and say, "Excuse me, the man sitting next to you is a genocidal maniac that has made the place hell, and they want to stay because it's their country. If anybody's got to go, it's him. He's got to go back to where his parents came from." Nobody says that. What is it with these journalists that they don't have a spine that they can stand up and say this? These 2 maniacs sitting in the room. And Netanyahu's big smile, he's all happy to hear this. This is the most radical Zionist ideology we've ever heard. It was usually subtle. It wasn't really said that way. In the 1980s, my father was a member of the Knesset, and Meir Kahane was also in the Knesset. And Meir Kahane was really the father of this ethnic cleansing, of this really kind of crude and blunt demand for ethnic cleansing. and transfer Palestinians. No member of Knesset would sit next to him, next to Kamala, because they were embarrassed that, because this rhetoric was so, was so insane. This is what Donald Trump is talking about now. Like this Kahana, this racist lunatic is now, happy in his grave. It's insane. It's beyond, I don't know. People are completely out of their minds. And I don't know why there's not a harsher reaction to. We'll see tomorrow what people say, what the papers say. If there's not an absolute reaction to this, where people speak about it as one of the most grotesque things we've ever heard coming out of the White House, then we've really all lost our minds. I mean, I don't know what else to say. That is absolutely grotesque. Why would they want to go back? And nobody's there to say, what do you mean, why would they want to go back? It's their home. That's where they're from. This is it's really grotesque. I mean, I don't know what else to call it.